adults, welcome to the 2020-2021 back to school video. My name is Noren. I am a math and science teacher here at Deer Creek Middle School, and I have the absolute pleasure of getting to spend every other day with your little human in my class. I put together some expectations on this video. Some of them are just specifically for my class. Some of them are 6th grade expectations, and some of them are school-wide Deer Creek expectations. So take notes if you need to. Pause the video when you have to. Come up with questions. Shoot me an email when you're done. Let's get rolling. Welcome to science. I am enjoying seeing the scientific brains that are coming into my classroom lately. It's been so fun to watch kids get excited about science. I just love teaching science, getting them to question things, getting them to make connections between things. It's just been a delight to see those scientific brains at work in my room. I end my day teaching science. So I teach science 3rd, 5th, and 6th period, and that's both on blue days and silver days. And your students have work to do during 3rd, 5th, and 6th for science, whether they're in the building or whether they're at home working remotely. Hey, I wanted to give you a little bit of information about who I am. Who is this person that's spending every other day with your little human in the classroom? I'm a native Oregonian. I fell in love with Colorado years ago, and I got the chance 6 years ago to actually pack everything up and move here. I haven't looked back since. I love it. Some of my favorite things to do here and around the world are backpacking, kayaking, camping. I love to go visit national parks. The beach is one of my favorite things, and I think that's probably, in my opinion, the only negative about Colorado is there's no beach. So I go home to Oregon a couple of times a year, and my family has a beach house on the Oregon coast, so I get my beach fill every once in a while, which is nice. I have 2 grown children, Lexi and Spencer, who both reside back in Oregon. I miss the heck out of them every day. But I do get a chance to visit, and they come out here to see me often too. I share my life out here with 2 dogs. I have a St. Bernard named Molly, and I have a puppy that's an Australian Shepherd St. Bernard mix named Rocky, and he's my hiking buddy. He's the one that pulls me up the hills when I can't quite make it up the hills. I'm thrilled this year to be able to share some of my outdoor experiences with your students. One of the things I started doing this year was I Wonder About the World pictures. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go ask your little human when we're finished with this presentation and ask them to share with you some of those pictures. This is my 13th year of teaching in some sort of capacity, in some state, in some grade. I have taught 1st through 7th grade. I've taught all subjects. There's never been anything else I would have rather done in my life. People ask me, so when did you decide you wanted to be a teacher? And I said, well, it was kind of in my blood. My father was an administrator. My mom was a preschool teacher, and I didn't have any other ideas on what I wanted to do when I grew up. So when I was very young, I started creating worksheets for my stuffed animals. I'm talking like 4 and 5 years old. And I would correct them with red pen. And I knew back then that my passion was teaching, and that's all I ever wanted to do. This year in science, we're covering 3 major units. The first one we're covering is matter and its interactions. That's the unit that we're in right now. The second one we're covering is ecology. And then the third one, weather and climate. Your little human gets 2 grades for each class that they're in Deer Creek Middle School. They get a content grade and a work habit grade. Content grades are based on a student's progress towards the standards. These grades might include quizzes, tests, exit tickets, projects, anything that shows that they're understanding the content. Work habit grades, however, are a little bit different. Work habit grades are based on students' demonstration of behaviors related to work completion, did they finish the job, preparedness for learning, participation, and following classroom expectations. Now, the difference between content knowledge and work habits, or one of the differences is, if your little human gets less than a 3 on a content knowledge grade, they may redo it to try to get a better score. Work habit grades, however, once they're in the grade book, the grade is what it is, and those cannot be redone. There are two places where you can find information, and they're very different, but they're two places that your little human should know backwards and forwards already. One is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a way for us to push out presentations, announcements, or resources to your students. Your student will turn in digital assignments on Google Classroom. There is room for error when students are not turning things in accurately. Keep in mind, in science especially, if they have to turn something in, I have already made a copy for them, so they do not have to make a copy and share it with me. All they need to do is hit the turn in button. So if you want to know what your child is learning about in class, go ahead and check Google Classroom. Infinite Campus, on the other hand, is our grading portal for students, families, and for teachers. That's going to give you the most accurate, up-to-date information about grades and any missing assignments that they have. Each and every one of your little humans knows how to run a missing assignment report through Infinite Campus. So they can be checking that, and it will show up a report of all of the assignments that they have missing, and they can get those taken care of quickly. So if you want to know what your child's grades are, look at Infinite Campus. If you want to know what it is that they're learning, you're going to go to Google Classroom. There are 3 things that you need to know about attendance, late work, and absences, and you will probably hear this from another core teacher later on. Attendance, they must complete the attendance Google form during the class time. So if it's one of the days that your little human is at home working from home, they need to fill out that attendance form during class time. If they don't turn it in during class time, they're going to be marked absent. The second thing they need to remember is late work. Students must complete the late work notification Google form when turning in late work. So if they had a missing assignment in Infinite Campus and they turned it in, they need to fill out that late work notification Google form when they turn it in to let me know and the other teachers know that there's something that we need to grade. This form is housed in Google Classroom under the year-long resources in classwork, and your students know where that is. Excused absence. If your little human is sick, please make sure you call the attendance line to excuse their absence. They have 2 additional days per day missed, if it's excused, to complete any work they missed while they were absent. The school posted a list of required school supplies, which your 6th grader needs in order to be successful this year. I want to highlight a couple of them that my teammates and I are concerned with. We have not seen every student with wired headphones right now. There are times during the day that your little humans are going to have to listen to a podcast, or they're going to have to watch a video, or they're going to have to do something else that requires them to have that wired headphones. Keep in mind, wireless headphones are not allowed at school this year. Make sure your little human has wired headphones. Also, ELA and Social Studies has requested me to make sure that you have sent Post-it notes with your little humans, to 2x2-inch ones of the ones that they require. They use those virtually every day. Also this year, especially in math, we're using the stylus with the rubber tip in order to write on those touch screens. It's hard to read the students' writings when they use their fingers. So make sure that your student is coming to school with a stylus with a rubber tip. Also in science, they need white glue. We are cutting and gluing things into their notebook almost every day. And I have found out over the years that glue sticks don't always work. So regular Elmer school glue would be the best. Just a little bottle of it, throw it in their backpack. If you need to, pause this video right now and go ahead and write down the things that you need to make sure you get before your student heads back to school. What do you do if your little human needs help? There are 4 things you can do. You can check Google Classroom. Everything is on Google Classroom that they need. Make sure that they've read all the notes, watched all the videos, everything. Have them check in with their study buddy. And there's another core teacher that's going to be talking about what a study buddy is. Your students know what it is. So the second thing they can do is check in with their study buddy. They can attend my Zoom office hours every Friday from 12:30 to 1:30. There's the link right there on the slide in front of you. And lastly, make sure you know, if you have checked Google Classroom, you've checked with a study buddy, you've done my Zoom office hours, but you need to email me, my email's right there for you anytime. What you've all been waiting for, Outdoor Lab is happening this year, but it will look a little bit different. We're going to go up for day trips instead of overnight stays. Half of the kids will go up on Monday, and Tuesday, just for the day. We'll leave from school and we'll come back in the evening. And then the other half will go back on Wednesday and Thursday. This is to allow Outdoor Lab to have smaller groups of students up there so we can practice that social distancing and everything. They're going to have an experience. It's going to look a little different than normal, but they will get the experience. Hey, this is where I'm finished talking about science for right now. So if your small human has me for third period science, you may stop watching this presentation and go on to your next teacher's presentation. If you have your little human has me for fifth or sixth period science, sit back, relax, and enjoy my math presentation. Welcome to sixth grade math. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I was a math teacher for 4 years in Douglas County before I moved to Jefferson County. I absolutely loved teaching sixth grade math. It is so fun to watch those little math brains just chugging along until they can figure things out and continue trying until they finally make it through. Guys, I'm so excited to be able to come back to not only teach science, but also to be able to teach math again. It's something I haven't taught for 3 years, but I did teach it in the past, and I'm very passionate about making sure that your kids finish sixth grade loving math. And so I get to start my day every day teaching math. So I see your kids first or second period, and then I see them again at the end of the day for science. So it's kind of fun to see them in the morning and see them in the afternoon again. They might get sick of me by May, but I love seeing them twice a day. This year in math, we're learning surface area. We're working on area right now. Reasoning with whole numbers and fractions and decimals, expressions, 2D and 3D geometry. We're going into rates and ratios, equations and inequalities. We'll touch on some statistics, and then we'll end the year with reasoning and communications. Guys, these are all amazing things that your kids get to learn, and I cannot wait to jump in with them. The platform that we're using this year is absolutely a problem-based approach. It uses real-world problems that the kids can relate to. So we no longer have to hear, when are we going to use this? I'm never going to use this, because it's stuff that they can relate to. This program is helping your students construct arguments and verbalize explanations. It's highly engaging, it's teaching a variety of skills, and it teaches precise math language. Along with that platform, we're also adding in some Khan Academy, which many of your little humans have used in the past. So we'll use that both in class and at home to practice skills. We're also introducing a program called GeoGebra. We in my class have had a little bit of problem getting GeoGebra to technically work right. So I'm going to have some people come in and help us in the next couple of weeks get that figured out and get some practice in class, so maybe it can be a little more smoother when they get home. But we will use GeoGebra both in school and when they're working remotely to practice skills. Completion of work. Guys, I'm going to be honest, your students should be completing classwork during the class time. The only homework that your little human should have after school hours is anything that they didn't finish in class. I'm not going to assign homework at the end of a period. Check Google Classroom, the Classroom tab or Classwork tab to find anything they need. Everything you need is in Google Classroom. And I just wanted to close by saying thank you so much for raising amazing little people. I am having so much fun building community with the students. I'm having so much fun getting to know them, making connections. It's just been nice. After we were remote all last spring, having kids in the building and having kids in front of me is making my job so enjoyable. I love it. So thank you so much for sharing your little humans with me. Please reach out to me anytime if you have any questions or comments or concerns. I'm here to help. I'm here to make sure that your student is successful, and I'm here to make sure that we have a great sixth grade year. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I will talk to you soon. Stay in touch if you need anything. Thanks. Bye-bye.